Hello, boys and girls. Along with taking care of animals, children your age also help their parents with chores on the farm. And here in this painting, we have a boy helping his father. Now, what kind of chores do you help your parents with at your house? So for me, my parents would often ask me and my brother and sister to go outside in the backyard and help them pull weeds. Now, the chores we do at home might differ from the chores that the kids would do on a farm. So what kind of chores do kids do on a farm, you might ask? And let me tell you, they also pulled weeds, but they also took out the trash, they collected the trash, and they sometimes even helped take care of their brothers and sisters by playing with them. But here, I want you to look a little bit closer and see, what is the boy doing with his father? What is he helping him with? It might be a little bit tricky, but let's take a look at their hands right here. So these are actually onions. This boy is helping pick up and put these onions into the bag. And this is what we like to call collecting. So both of them together are collecting onions. Now, it's not just this one bag that they're collecting though. Do you see all these bags in the background? Let's see if we can count them, okay? So we have one right here, 2, 3, and then there's a fourth one in the very back, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is all the way on the left-hand side of this painting. That's a lot of bags of onions, so many bags. In fact, that would probably be a lot of work, don't you think? Well, onions are actually a kind of vegetable, and the vegetables and the food that is grown on a farm is what we like to call crops. So what kind of vegetables that is grown on a farm do you eat at your house? Those are great examples, and in fact, I have some images in my hands right here, and I want to see if you guys can help me name these crops or vegetables. So, I want you to take a look at this image. That's right, these are carrots. Way to go, guys. And on the back is actually an image of carrots in a field. So this is how carrots are grown on a farm. You can see all the green, and then the orange part that we eat actually is under the ground. Okay, so what about this image? What do you think? Perfect, you guys got it. It's celery. And this is what a field of celery looks like. Okay, you guys are doing great. Let's see if you can get the next one. Perfect, these are cucumbers. And this one's a little bit different, but you can see that a cucumber field has all these big plants, and then the cucumbers actually hide underneath those leaves. So we can't really see them right now, but they're under all of that green. Okay. How about this image? This one's a little bit more colorful, right? Yes, these are bell peppers. And bell peppers come in all those pretty shades: red, orange, yellow, and green. And on a farm, this is what bell peppers look like. You can see them growing right here. We've got some yellow bell peppers and some red bell peppers. The next one, what do you think it is? Exactly, it's broccoli. So let's see what a broccoli field looks like. Kind of interesting, right? So the broccoli actually grows on all the tops of those plants, and they're just cut off. Now, broccoli might not be your favorite vegetable, but it's actually my brother's favorite vegetable now, so maybe you'll grow into it. Perfect, you guys did such a wonderful job helping me name all those vegetables. So the next time that maybe your mom or dad has cut up carrot sticks and place them in front of you, you can think to yourself of the kids and the families and the parents that have helped grow and take care of those crops. And not only that, but they've collected them like this family has, put them in bags and shipped them just so that you can eat your vegetables. So we're now going to go to the studio and we're going to make some wonderful art that goes with the crops that we just talked about. Let's go, guys. Hello, boys and girls. Okay, let's look back at this painting that we just saw in our exhibit downstairs, the onion harvest. We just talked about growing vegetables and crops in fields. So now we are going to make our own vegetable gardens using some fun paint and construction paper. So, just like we saw carrots on the bottom, carrots grow in fields underground in the dirt. And so we're going to see if we can recreate that today. So that's the one I'm going to start with. Although this is another option. These are radishes. We actually didn't talk about these, but they're another fun vegetable as well. In fact, you could do any kind of vegetable that you wanted to. But we're going to start with carrots today. So some of the materials that you're going to need include a pencil to trace, some scissors to cut out, paint, also a kind of paintbrush. We also need bubble wrap and a rolling pin, glue, and then some green yarn. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace out the carrot shape. So it's not too hard, it's just kind of a long oval-like shape, right? So maybe something like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. And now I'm going to cut that out. Okay, so it should look something like this. This is the carrot that we eat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some glue and I'm going to glue it down to my blank white piece of paper. And I'm going to place it on my white sheet of paper so that there's enough room on the top to add some green leaves. But we're going to do this a couple times until I have 4 carrots on this piece of paper, okay? Okay, now we have 4 carrots on this piece of paper, and you can see that all of them are a little different shaped, and maybe some are bigger than others, but that's just how carrots grow, right? So it's perfect. Okay, now we're going to actually get our paint ready, okay? We are going to pour some paint in just a little container. And here is where you might need some of your parents' help. I have a rolling pin right here, and what I've done is I have cut a piece of bubble wrap from this sheet, and I've just rolled it around and I've taped it in place so that the bubble wrap doesn't come off. But now what we're going to do is I'm going to use my brush, I'm going to dip it in the paint, and we're going to cover this entire piece of bubble wrap in brown paint. So do you see that, guys? We're going to cover the entire thing. This is going to mimic the dirt that carrots grow in. And we're going to have some fun because we're going to roll this on the piece of paper. Okay, so it should look just like this. It's all covered in our brown paint and it's ready to be rolled. Okay, so we're just going to roll this across the bottom part of our piece of paper, maybe a couple times. But do you see all those fun dots? So that's exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so now we're going to set aside the paint and the rolling pin, and we're going to move on to our yarn. This is the last step. Carrots, like I showed you in the pictures, carrots actually have these long green leaves at the top of them when they grow in a field. So we're going to cut some pieces and we're going to glue those to the top of our carrots to mimic those leaves. Okay, so I've cut 4 little pieces of yarn, and they're all different shapes, and we're gonna glue those on now. Okay, so what I think is a little bit easier is I put a strip of glue on the very top of these carrots. So just like that, just a little tiny strip, and then I start putting the yarn down. So not every single part of the yarn is glued, but that's just okay. So maybe it will look a little something like that. So let's do it to all the other carrots now. Okay, our painting should look like this now. We've got the orange carrots cut out, we've got the brown dirt using our rolling pin and bubble wrap, and now we've completed it with our green carrot leaves. Hopefully you guys have had so much fun today. I'm really happy you could join us and that you could also learn a little bit about our onion harvest painting and make some art based off of it as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.